Welcome to the Abundance Blueprint Podcast with Naomi Saadiq. Today we're talking about time, money, and the magic of 72. It's our Tuesday Tips Day, our Ladies Rule of 72 campaign. So welcome in, beloved. You're listening to the Abundance Blueprint Podcast, and I'm your host, Naomi Saadiq, the voice, the vessel, and the woman behind the words. Here, we don't chase abundance. We blueprint it. We're kicking off our brand new Tuesday Tips series as a part of a movement we're calling Ladies Rule of 72, because it's time women start talking about money, not just in terms of making it, but multiplying it. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a thriver, a mother, or someone still figuring it out, this campaign is for you. So pour your tea, take a breath, and let's get into it. So let me start with this question. What if your money could grow even while you rest? No extra job, no burnout, just alignment, intention, and the right tools. I know it sounds too good to be true. But today I want to talk to you about one of those tools, the Rule of 72. Now, I know you may not have ever heard of it. I didn't either, not until I went looking for better answers and got licensed, but I digress. But when I did find it, when I found it, I thought that it felt like a secret that no one ever told us. And I promised myself that I would tell you. So the rule of 72 is simple, as we make it make sense. You take the number 72, and you divide it by the interest rate or growth rate of your money. And that tells you how long it will take to double. So, for an example, if your money is growing at 6%, divide 72 by 6, that's 12 years. In 12 years, your money could double. But if it's sitting in a savings account earning 1%, 72 divided by 1 equals 72 years. Yes, 72 years. That's your whole life. Just for $100 to become $200. That's not abundance, beloved. That's stagnation. So let's get into it a little bit about my personal truth. Let me keep it real. I'm not sharing this from a pedestal, okay? Yes, I'm a licensed agent, but I'm also a single mom, a cancer thriver, and a woman who's still waiting on stable housing and still showing up with purpose, even when those lights flicker. This campaign, the Ladies Rule of 72, it came from that fight because I was tired of watching women pour from empty cups, tired of watching us survive but never scale. So now we are learning together. We are moving differently. We are not chasing coins. We are building blueprints. Okay? Building blueprints. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to grab your journal. I want you to open your notes apps or take a napkin, whatever you have in front of you, and write this. Is my money moving or is it hiding? Now, another one. What do I want my money to do for me in the next 5 years? Now sit with that. Because growth doesn't start with math. It starts with mindset. And beloved, you're not behind. You're not broken. You're just waking up to the truth. And me, I'm right here with you. As the old folks say, I'm walking with you when you write. Right? Now, I want to give you all a little story to kind of tie that in, because sometimes we get caught up on the visuals. All right, so let me give you a little bit of a scenario as I kind of go through my notes here, and y'all bear with me for just a moment. When was the last time that you felt like you were getting ahead financially, like really ahead? Not just keeping up, not just robbing Peter to pay Paul, not working 3 jobs and still being short on rent, but actually seeing your money grow without you grinding harder. For most of us, that answer is never or not lately. And I want you to know it's not your fault. We weren't taught this stuff. Not in school, not in the community, not even in most churches. We were taught how to spend. We were taught how to tithe, how to survive. But growing wealth, that was somebody else's conversation until now. So, remember I told you that I had a story. I'm not going to hit you with numbers and formulas like this is a TED Talk, okay? But here's how I explain it to my sisters. So imagine you got a seed, $100 bill. And imagine you can plant that seed somewhere safe, and maybe 10, 12, 15 years later, or from now, you come back to it to find $200 there instead. It's the same seed, but it doubled. And that's what the rule of 72 helps you to see. You take the number 72, you divide it by the interest rate your money is growing at. That tells you how long it'll take to double. If you're earning 6%, 72 divided by 6 equals 12 years. Remember, we talked about that earlier. If you're only earning 1%, that'll take 72 years. So that's a lifetime. But this isn't about shame. It's about truth. And honestly, I didn't always know this. I had to learn it the hard way after cancer. We talked about that a little bit after Hurricane Ian, after being forced to move again and again and again, looking for help, housing, and healing. But I was still showing up and still creating and still working multiple jobs, attempting multiple things, chasing success with nothing left in my cup. And then one day that it hit me. And my money was working harder to stay in the bank than it was to grow. I was tired, but I wasn't dumb. I just wasn't informed. And once I got the information, I had to share it because this isn't just about finances. It's about your freedom. Okay? Let your money grow for you. Because if you think that it's in the bank account, yes, it might be stable, but is it still? Is it growing? Or is it just sitting in a dark drawer like an unused gift? Maybe the decision that you can make for this week towards your peace and your provision includes opening up a better savings option or asking for help, listening to the podcast again next Tuesday, having someone that specializes in your state with the products that you've purchased for your vehicle to make sure that they work, right? All right, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm off my soapbox. If this episode spoke to your heart today, I just asked for you to do 2 things. Share it with one sister, one friend, one mother, one daughter, and let her know she's not too far behind to start. And if you feel led, tip a coffee on the app Coffee. It's KO-FI. And not because I want your money, but because I'm still in the middle of my own breakthrough. I'm still navigating housing insecurity and navigating and serving cancer survivors and single moms through Phenomenally Me Women's Society. I'm still creating workbooks and policy reviews and podcast episodes, borrowing Wi-Fi and pairing that with my unmatched faith. And so this is my platform. This is my livelihood. And this is my lifeline, my legacy. And you get to be a part of that. My name is Naomi Saadiq, and I thank you for listening to the Abundance Blueprint today, from uncertainty to prosperity. The last thing that I like to do before I jump off of here is I'd like to remind you that if you're listening and building something meaningful, a business, a brand, a book, a breakthrough, and you want to share your story, I want to hear from you. The Abundance Blueprint podcast is more than about interviews. It's a space for real conversations with real people doing real work in life, in business, and in legacy. And so whether you're scaling, launching, healing, or just figuring it out as you go, your journey has value, and I want to help you shine. We're also open to collaborations, micro sponsorships, product features, and interviews with entrepreneurs, authors, healers, educators, and advocates who believe in building from overflow, not burnout. To connect with me, sponsor a segment, or be featured on the show, email us today at info@theabundanceblueprint.org or message me directly at charlettagermain@gmail.com. You can also find the book on Amazon Kindle. I found out I had breast cancer on my lunch break. And you can drop us a little tip if you want to buy us some coffee or sponsor some of the shows. You can go to coffee.com/Naomi Saadiq. Now, I know it's a lot. We're going to get it together. All right. Branding is important. Don't come for me. All right. ko-fi.com/Naomi Saadiq. All right. Let's build something together, beloved. I am Naomi Saadiq, and this is your reminder that your voice matters, your work matters, and there's room for your story in this abundant space. So until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, stay growing, and stay ruling. See you later.